Hey, what's up, everybody? My name is Michael Grass. This is the Grassroots 304 podcast, episode number 67. And tonight, my special guests are the Snozzberries, all the way here from Asheville, North Carolina, right?
That's us. We're the Snozzberries from Asheville, North Carolina.
Not Trashville?
No, sir.
No. Hey, I say that because, who said Dr. Bacon said that? Yeah. you know Dr. Bacon?
Well, we know those boys very well.
Yeah, Bacon Boys. That's what's up. They were not one of my first guests, but they were on here, I don't know, probably about a year or so ago. Sat on the couch here. Yeah, cool guys. Asheville, North Carolina. That's how far is that? It's about 6 hours from here, 5 hours?
From here, I think that's about it. Yeah, 5 hours.
Okay.
We've been on a bit of a run, so we just came from Berkeley Springs today.
Oh, where's Berkeley Springs at?
Let's see, what was that, like 3 hours?
About 4 hours.
4 hours.
Oh, okay. Yeah, it's I know we've got like White Sulphur Springs around here, and I think there's a Green Sulphur Springs, maybe.
I was about to say.
Wrong. Yeah, but that's like towards Virginia. Yeah.
Get your smelly, hot vibe on, right?
Yeah, there's something with that white sulfur. There's something that's supposed to be like therapeutic to it, bathing in the White Sulphur Springs. Yeah, I don't know. I should know this, but I don't.
That's hardcore. We should go try it.
You can give it a shot. George Washington actually bathed in the White Sulphur Springs Resort, and they still have his bathtub, or allegedly the bathtub that he sat in and bathed.
I'll be damned.
You can put your balls where George Washington's balls were.
That's correct, right? Yeah, that's like a historic thing right there. What would it be? Sharing the same tub, it's old. What they call him? What they call George Washington? Wood teeth.
Oh yeah, old wood teeth.
Old wood teeth, wooden teeth. I might just cut all that shit out. Wooden balls then too, right?
Oh man, I hope not.
Allegedly. So I was talking about a little bit of a, geez, I'm blanking here. A little bit of an opening question here. A little bit of an icebreaker question for you. I'm sure plenty of people have asked this already. But if the Snozzberries were a Willy Wonka candy, what would they taste like?
I'm going to say that they're going to taste like the hopes and dreams of all Snozzberries fans.
Okay.
Because it's ultimately up to you guys what they taste like. Mm-hmm. It's more of a, if we tell you, what it's supposed to taste like, it's going to affect the culinary experience.
Yeah, but if somebody says, like the Snozzberries taste like Snozzberries, then what do they really taste like?
Well, what do they taste like to you, Ethan?
Are they sweet or are they
taste
sour?
like cheeseburgers and like wet socks.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Yeah, see, I'm going to go with more like, extremely rare ahi tuna.
Okay.
Kind of umami.
Yeah, savory.
Exactly.
Okay. Does this have to be on the road for like 3 days sort of thing, or a week?
A little bit.
Yeah.
It's just different for everybody.
Right, all right.
Some people like, exactly, sweet, sour, It is kind of whatever you decide it's going to be that day.
Okay. Guys down on the end, what do you think? What's a Snozzberry taste like?
Well, I'm over here kind of thinking that the question sort of answers itself, so really the beauty is in the question and its rhetorical nature.
Mm.
What about you, Ian?
Tastes like itself.
Anything you want it to be, I feel like that is that's a...
Hey, step in here, Brandon. We'll get Brandon's opinion. Sit down here, Brandon. Pass over the microphone. Brandon, if the Snozzberries were a Willy Wonka candy, you might have to lean in a little bit more, get on the camera here. If the Snozzberries were a Willy Wonka candy, what would the Snozzberries taste like?
Oh my god. Probably
Come up to the mic.
Probably a mixture of blueberry, blackberry, and strawberry.
Okay, I dig it. Yeah, nice berry flavor, right.
We have been talking about implementing a jam into the merch table somehow.
Yeah.
So that's actually a good lineup of flagship flavors.
Yeah, I like that. You might be onto something here.
I think so, yeah.
Use natural sweeteners, not crack sugar.
That's exactly right, yeah. We're going to go full fruit, just the real stuff. I don't know a lot about jam making, but sure we can.
What about sea moss flavors?
Sea moss?
Sea moss, that's what Brandon just
sea
mentioned.
Moss jelly.
Hell yeah. Is that like fiber or something?
Oh no, it's got 91 essential minerals for your body. So
oh hell yeah. It's like
it's good shit.
That's the Lord's multivite.
Pretty much.
Brandon is a health guru, if you didn't figure that out already.
Awesome.
Hell yeah.
Yes.
Goddamn right. You need to on the road, man.
Health, yeah.
Healthy.
Yeah, man. Well, yeah, need to get an opinion. They were saying salty, sour,
Do it all.
yeah, all the different flavors.
Do it all.
Not of jam. We were talking about actual snozzberries.
Oh, okay. Snozzberries. I've never had a real snozzberry before.
You're about to.
Oh, I can't wait.
It's like a wallpaper.
My mouth is watering right now.
Oh, is it? You need a napkin?
We're probably appropriately about to get space freaked.
That's correct.
So-
Yeah, Space Freak's going to be opening up for you guys here at 9 o'clock, right?
9 o'clock, I think, is what
Yeah.
he said.
All right, as long as people are walking through the door.
Yeah, but there's a bunch of
9-ish.
issues. But
There's always an ish. Some kind of ish in the group. So, yeah, guys, Snozzberries taste like Snozzberries. Interesting. You know, it's whenever I think about that, not just from Willy Wonka, I think about that scene from Super Troopers. Yeah, and the guy eats all them mushrooms in the back seat, and the cop walks up.
Classic.
Yeah, right. Classic movie. I have to rewatch that sometime. So, yeah, tell me about the band. How did you guys come together? What was like the defining moment that you all realized this was going to work? Thanks for coming on, Brandon. Love you too, buddy.
The group's been around. Like this iteration of the group is relatively new. Originally, we were just kind of like a fun band in Asheville, and then we started to take it more seriously. And more recently, it's really developed into like a progressive fusion kind of project, and the sounds are just getting more complex and more exciting by the day.
Okay. And when did you guys start out together? Like how long has this group been playing together for now? I know you've had some recent lineup changes.
Yeah, I mean this group, Logan's the newest member. He joined at the beginning of the year.
Okay.
And Josh joined about a year and a half ago or so. And this is like, I'd say like this is the new era of the Snoz. Yeah, super stoked.
Okay. And yeah, go ahead.
It's about a 5-month lifespan on this current iteration so far. It's been fun.
How'd you find these guys?
Well, he found myself and Logan and Ian, actually.
Okay.
You moved to town, through St. Louis, correct? Mm-hmm. So Ethan moves into town via St. Louis. I've lived there my whole life. Logan's lived there his whole life. Eventually Ian moves out. And then these two start the Snozzberries along with our buddy Sean Mason. And this is a whole era. There's lore for the band, essentially. So this is a whole era before any iteration of the band that is remotely close to us right now. So it's gone through a lot of evolution over the years, for sure.
Yeah, I mean, that happens. You know, bands change, they shape, they find new sounds, things like that as well. So I guess whenever you're adapting and you're figuring out, who you are and what your sound is and who's serious about playing, then, things can change.
Yeah, man, it's been fun. It's nice to kind of bring a flavor to a band. I remember seeing Snozzberries and being like, forming my listening profile of it in my head and being like, yeah, these guys have this really particular sound that is super unique. And then when I became a member of the band, I was like, cool, I actually kind of have that to draw on for writing songs. And that, the first time I saw you guys, I was like, oh, they just don't really give a fuck. Like, they're just playing whatever they want.
Right.
And so now when I write Snozzberry songs, I'm like, what if we did it like this and added this part for no reason, and then manage tastefully from there. It's a experimental culinary experience with these guys.
Like putting your own spin on it.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay. And Logan, tell me, how'd you get your start in the band?
Well, it was about October, November of last year. I was just walking down the sidewalk to our neighborhood bar, the One Stop, and I saw my man Heller here. That's Ethan Heller, and we both pointed at each other and had information to share with each other regarding some concerts and band membership, and it was pretty much an instant like, well, yeah, I gotta do that.
Right.
Because I mean these are all my boys here, but especially Josh having been in the band. I mean, we met doing drumline and playing single strokes, double strokes, triple strokes.
Okay.
Lots of strokes on drums on the drum line together as wee lads. So it just kind of came together at a perfect time.
Okay, so there wasn't any kind of audition. They were just like you work.
Oh, they made me run laps. They made me do burpees. They made me shave my head.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
No, I'm
yeah.
just kidding.
Yeah, right
I've been
with you,
bald
brother.
since 4th grade.
Yeah, well, 4th grade. Yeah, a little bit sooner than me, but hey, it works.
Yeah, I actually wanted to get a head start on you.
You kind of have like the Howie Mandel look with the glasses on right now.
Thank you.
It's not just the bald head, but definitely, yeah. It's a compliment.
I
Yeah,
appreciate
right.
it. Thanks.
All right, and sir in the middle, what's your name again? Ian. Yes. Tell me about your start, since you're also sort of new, right? Oh, no, you're not.
Founding member of
Oh,
the
sorry.
band,
Okay,
yeah.
my apologies.
Yeah, we
Yeah.
kind of moved around the area around the same time.
Well, Ian, how about this? Why don't you tell me what's the scene like in Asheville? Like, how do you all separate yourselves from some of the other bands to try to stand out?
So, at this moment in the band, we, try to be selective when we play like shows in town, and we'll do side project stuff, and but the scene in Asheville is pretty eclectic, and it's a good, there's a good variety, and it's inspiring other musicians to listen and play in other groups and have super jams. Like it's a really good area to be, to explore different styles of music and play with musicians that do different things that you do, on a regular basis, and learn from them. So there's jams going on at different nights of the week, and that was one of the reasons why I wanted to move to the area, just to be in that, which really got me started playing music with all sorts of people. So
Yeah, heavy music
it's
culture.
changed a lot in 10 years. I've been there almost. It's been like 9, maybe a little over 9 years. But like, it's changed a lot in that time. But there's still it's still a special place for just music and art and
When the historic floods happened last year, were any of you all affected by that?
yeah, a lot of all
Directly.
of us were affected,
Yes.
but
Yeah.
Ethan had the worst home damage but yeah, I mean, some of us live close to the rivers or creeks and things that the creeks turned the rivers, and the rivers
Right.
just swallowed up a lot of stuff.
So how's the community changed since then? I mean, like we had Hustle Souls here not too long after that happened, and they talked about it some. But it's been more than several months now. How have things changed? How have they came back together?
So everything's functional at this time, but it's going to be a little while before things could be considered, back to normal,
Right.
per se. So there's a lot of efforts going on still in a lot of the rural communities surrounding Asheville. Asheville proper is more or less back to 95% operational, whereas the surrounding mountainous neighborhoods are the ones that were most affected by the storm, in the greater area, which I'm sure that you as a West Virginian can relate to.
Oh,
People
yeah,
being like, what do you mean there's people living up there? And you're like, yeah, there's whole neighborhoods
up on the side of the mountain
of people
Yeah,
on the
yeah.
side of the mountain. Yeah.
Right.
And they were the most cut off from the storm, the most, airlifted out in droves,
Right.
So those communities still look pretty apocalyptic, flipped over cars down in the ravine and, trash still being hauled off. But it's an ongoing effort, so it'll take maybe, a year, maybe 2 years time to get everything back in order and back upright. But we're doing our best. So if you're planning a trip to Asheville soon, bring some friends.
And bring some
And
friends. Bring
ball
some,
out because you deserve it. Yeah.
Tip cash.
That's right. Spend some money on the local economy.
Yeah.
And it is a service economy in Asheville for sure.
Yeah.
So, that really is, jokes aside, the best way to support that particular community is just go there and, spend some money there and have a good time.
Now, I heard there was I can't think of the venue, but it's the one that's on the old trash site.
Oh
What's
Salvage
it called?
Station.
Salvage Station.
Yeah.
Yeah, right. And
I
heard they were
live
gonna
not
be-
very far from there at all.
Yeah, weren't they going to be closing down anyways?
At the end of the year, yeah, the city was going to claim eminent domain, and they were going to put a highway bypass infrastructure, something there.
Right.
And the day of the storm, I walked down to the river, and it had stretched from where it usually was up to the highway and the adjacent bank that I basically live on.
Yeah.
So I was like, cool, so Salvage Station is gone, and everything on the river is gone, actually.
It's crazy.
There were big propane tanks just rolling down the
Yeah.
river. I saw like trucks.
I
Like
saw a video
buses
of
and
a
stuff.
casket going down the river.
I saw
too,
like
yeah.
100 kayaks just floating down the river.
Yeah, it's crazy. It's
Yeah.
absolutely wild. It's we get things sort of like that, but like not to. I don't know. It gets pretty bad sometimes whenever you have these flash floods, like up in the hollers, and the creeks turn into rivers, and it overflows into the road, and like that's it. You know, all the houses get picked up and washed down. It gets pretty bad, but I don't know if we've ever seen anything as bad as that. So.
Yeah, there was just nowhere for it to go, man.
Do you guys believe in weather modification?
Not particularly.
No.
No.
No, like geoengineering.
No, nothing
No.
like that. We
No.
kind of just are more concerned with getting everyone back on their feet, back home.
Oh
you
yeah,
know?
for sure.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but you know, it's just a lot of shit to pick up. So
Right.
just gotta keep our laser focus on helping the old people that don't still don't have like functioning stuff as far as like a source of food and whatnot.
Right. Yeah. That's difficult. It's difficult. It's I'd like to hope that you could still send donations down there as well, as long as they get to
Yeah.
the right places.
Absolutely, yeah. The best place is beloved Asheville.
Mm-hmm.
They do the most direct work with the community.
Mm-hmm.
They build homes for people most affected by homelessness. They build, all sorts of things into the community that help people find homes, find work, find just general support. It doesn't have to be any type of specific need. You can go to them if you need help, and they will help you. So, beloved Asheville is one of the best places,
Okay.
as well as, the city itself. They, do a lot of constant meeting to go and distribute money throughout. Honestly, I would say give it to Beloved, because then Arts AVL is another good one.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'll make sure to put those on there so that people can find that if they're
For sure.
interested. Yeah, it's absolutely crazy, guys. My heart goes out to you. And God
Well,
bless
thank you, man.
each
It
and
means
one
a
of you
lot.
all down there. It's really crazy.
Yeah, we received a lot of support right off the bat, because we actually went and did a gig down in New Orleans,
Mhm.
like the preceding months after, in like December.
Yeah.
And we talked to a lot of people down there that were like, yeah, that's going to happen. Yeah, be ready for this. It's going to take a long time. So it was nice to actually have some people to talk to in a place where something so similar had happened to them.
Right. Yeah.
You know.
It's, Hurricane Katrina. That was
Exactly,
absolutely
yeah.
devastating down there.
Yeah, it was wild. But we got a lot of good
Yeah.
support.
It's good to have support, and it's good to have a good community too.
Absolutely,
people you
yeah.
can lean on and trust one another that things are going to be okay. and
For
work
sure,
out.
yeah.
Well, back to your band. We were talking about earlier some of your sounds between psychedelic rock, funk, and like prog. Who were some artists or some albums that shaped your musical journey?
It kind of varies between person to person, because the way
Okay.
that we'll do a lot of songs is that we'll just be like, all right, you are now the visual creator of whatever's going on.
Mhm.
And then people will pipe up and be like, hey, let's add this. Hey, let's try that.
Right.
So for me, it stems, if I had to pick three, like Allman Brothers, Southern Jamisphere, Colonel Bruce stuff.
Okay.
The kind of like heavy metal scene,
Mhm.
just kind of like it always being in the background and not really being tangible. And then kind of like a jazz fusion influence, for sure, like Herbie Hancock, Return to Forever, so on and so forth.
Right.
Ethan, for you, I don't know, why don't you tell them?
Yeah, for me, and what Josh said is right. Like, I mean, we all come to the band with like our different influences, and it's fun because we can just like bounce ideas off each other. So for me, like, I grew up as a punk rock kid and like a heavy metal, like 70s stoner metal kind of guy. So I love like Black Sabbath and Dead Kennedys, and then of course like psychedelic rock, King Crimson, Pink Floyd, stuff like that. And yeah, jazz fusion. I think like we all kind of like, different but similar things.
Yeah, we like to boil down the experience of the band to this actually right here. So
And what is that exactly?
So
that a
this is
Pokemon?
this is our indication octopus
Indication octopus.
that we have on the
Alright.
stage.
Yeah.
So
Tell me more.
this is going to be, you're on the ground floor of something breakthrough right now. So we don't really have a name yet, but the idea is to try and take people from this to this in the blink of an eye.
Flipped
To
inside
where
out.
we can flip you inside out and turn you, a little frowny face. But then we can just bring you right back.
Yes.
We can just
Happy.
We just bring you right back. You know,
Indicator octopus.
Indicator Octopus. It's actually going to be a new song.
Yeah.
So be on the lookout for Indicator Octopus.
Decided right now.
Think a octopus, when it like indicates something that's going to like change its appearance, right? It would change just like that from pink to
Exactly,
gray,
yeah. I'm
right?
trying to get it to a point where like we're getting ready to play a super heavy song, and I'm just like, "Are you motherfuckers ready or what?"
Yeah.
And then I wouldn't even have to say anything. I could just
Yeah, like the band would know what happens when you flip it inside out.
right.
Yeah.
It'd also be kind of nice to not say anything and just see if they catch on.
Right, yeah, that's the cue. Like
Right.
some guys like that, y'all just like look at each other and you know it's coming up, but you flip the octopus over.
Yeah, sometimes
Right.
you look in the front and there's like a spun out kid who's like not having a good time anymore. I feel like the octopus would be great. Just be like, "Hey guys, you know, just let's take it
Yeah, right.
take it easy a little bit."
Yeah, right. Share the good vibes with the spun out look up front.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
So
you gotta bring it back to reality.
the overall mission statement of the band is to just try and provide good music, you know.
Mhm.
And I feel like the creative vision of the band stands taller and more firm if we combine all of our influences and try to spread them evenly
Okay.
to create
Yeah,
something cool.
When you guys are traveling, like y'all just play random shit, you listen to the radio, or like somebody gets to pick for an hour. what
So
to
I've been
listen to.
doing a lot of research with this over the years,
Uh-huh.
And it does affect the way the band plays.
Okay.
So sometimes I'll be like, all right, we're just in like some big ass city, like we're going somewhere else. We need to kind of chill out a little bit. It'll be just George Jones all day long.
George Jones.
Just
shit.
like we're doing Randy Travis, we're doing Merle, you know,
Put on
keeping
some
the boys
country.
sedated. Sometimes I'll go even further and do a little bit of obscure post rock,
Uh-huh.
a little bit of pensive, explosions in the sky perhaps.
Mhm.
And then I just had a conversation actually with Adam Deitch, the drummer for Lettuce, because we were playing with Python, his and Benny and Brad and Big Yuki's new group. It's exceptional. You should definitely check it out. But I was talking to Adam, and he's like, "Man, here's the thing. You just can't be playing like Frank Zappa and like jazz fusion like all day in the van because then you like wear your music brain out by the time you get to the gig."
Yeah.
And all I could think of the entire time he was saying that was like, that's exactly what I do. Every single hour of every drive.
Yeah.
I'm just like, here we go, boys. It's going to get in there somehow. You know.
Hey, that's what puts the energy into the band before, like, give it all the Frank Zappa you got.
Right, exactly.
Yeah, right.
So sometimes before a really important gig, I'll try to play something really neutral. Maybe some singer-songwriter stuff.
No, okay, not some, like, Rascal Flatts or some, Roddy Carrington or, I don't know, a little bit of Taylor Swift.
Sometimes if
up.
I go too far in that direction, it takes us out of the weird.
Yeah.
You got to have something a little bit in there.
I feel like that would put you
Yeah.
into the weird, though.
Right,
Being-
yeah.
Yeah,
Usually a little
genre.
Sturgill Simpson works.
Little Sturgill, I like
Little
Sturgill.
Sturgill.
Yeah.
Just because I grew up, my dad listening to like Hank Jr. and all that stuff.
Okay,
You know,
cool.
like cassette tapes.
Right.
All day long. Just cigarette smoke hanging in the house.
I can
So-
picture it. I can smell it, actually.
Oh, dude, yeah. Reds and lights, the mixture between the two is actually a really specific
It's
smell.
a very nostalgic smell, actually. Yeah.
Because a Jess Lights house is like, my grandma lives here.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. But if there's a little bit of reds in there, you're like, okay, no, a man and a woman live here.
Yeah, right. It's like my great aunt, her house, I don't know what she smoked, but it always smelled like cigarettes, and I would assume that it was probably like Pall Malls or something like that, Yeah, even though she wasn't like a dirty old lady, which she would expect some like old hag to smoke Pall Malls.
Sometimes you meet these
Yeah, right.
indestructible women who are like, I keep trying to kill myself, but it just won't let me die. I'm just doing everything I can, and I just keep remaining alive.
You gotta peel the filter off there. That's what will help kill you quicker.
Yeah, you gotta go Lucky Strike.
Yeah.
Original Lucky Strike.
Get a Virginia Slim, but get a Virginia Slim, but cut off the end of it, so you
Yeah,
just
right.
smoke it.
My stepmother smoked Virginia Slims, and
There
yeah,
you
it's
go.
like sometimes she'd cut off half the filter so it was stronger.
There you go.
So when I was in like
Long and
sixth
strong.
grade, a little story for you guys about Pall Mall filterless cigarettes. When I was in sixth grade, my brother and we were going to go probably outside to smoke, and he tried to hand off this pack of cigs that he had stole probably from my dad. He smoked Marlboro Lights, and tried to hand it off to me in front of my stepmom, and she saw what was going on, and caught us obviously. And then our punishment, like the next day or 2 days after that, it was St. Patrick's Day. I remember because we had a school dance, and I'd gotten in trouble and didn't get to go to the dance, and actually had to walk home that day. I think I had like after school detention. Yeah, I had to walk home, and then my dad picked me up halfway and didn't say a fucking word to me in the truck, and he went to the nearest gas station, and he went in and bought 2 packs of Pall Mall filterless cigarettes, and we went home and sat me and my brother down, and he said, hey, it's like, you all got in trouble the other day, and it's like, you all want to smoke cigarettes? Well, you're going to learn how to smoke cigarette, and he gave us these packs, and he said, you got to finish these, you got to smoke them or eat them until you can have dinner.
At what point did it stop being cool? Because after the first one, you're like, I could do this.
Yeah, probably about maybe 5 or 6. You get
Yeah.
like you're blowing, you chief the first one, then the second one you're blowing smoke rings, and third one you're like, yeah, I'm smoking in front of my parents. Fuck yeah, right? Then like fourth one you start getting a little cotton mouth, and fifth one you start getting a headache, and I don't know. My brother tried to eat half the pack. He threw his up.
Oh my
Yeah,
God.
puked it all up. I tried to eat one. And was like, nah, I didn't puke it up, but it's absolutely disgusting, and I don't know if we finished our packs or not before, but our parents were like, all right, like, I think you've had enough. And fucking ripped off, filterless cigs, Pall Malls, your red pack, yeah.
Yeah.
6th grade, prime time of your life.
That's right.
Right. Yeah, some boys turn 13 and become a man, but like in West Virginia, become a man when you smoke a pack of filterless Pall Malls.
that could happen.
That's fucking 8.
Yeah, you're
Right.
looking at an 8, a hard 8.
If you're in Boone County, it's definitely like 7 or 8 years old.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, y'all don't know about Boone County, but trust me.
I've heard about it.
Yeah.
I've only heard.
If Zach comes here later, I'll introduce you to a real man from Boone County.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, but I don't know if he'd ever smoked a whole pack of filterless Pall Malls. Maybe.
Yeah. I may have met a man from Boone County one time. I feel like he was definitely from West Virginia.
Mm-hmm.
But he was the type of man that would, when it was time to go to bed, he would just go outside under the porch and be like, all right, y'all, good night. And we'd be like, Uncle Kev, where you going? He's like, I'm going to bed.
Under the porch.
Under the goddamn porch.
It's
It
the
blew my
fucking
mind.
boogeyman.
Yeah.
That's what your parents tell you. Yeah, you better
That
get in the
man
house.
made
The boogeyman's coming after you.
That man would have made a mean can of pickled onions, though, I'll tell you what.
Sounds good. Pickled
Yeah.
onions.
He was the master.
Yeah, you guys ever had ramps?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, they grow down there. Okay, that's what's up.
You got ramp fever going on at your house right now.
Yeah, we have ramps in my yard,
Uh-huh.
and my girlfriend baked them into bread. She made some ramp bread,
Nice.
ramp sourdough bread. Shout out, Kat, ramp sourdough bread. Really tasty.
Sounds good. I had my first ramps back in March, actually, and Brandon and I, we had ramp burgers. Chopped them up,
Yeah.
put it in with a hamburger and fried that up. It's absolutely good.
Ramp
Yeah.
butter's good too. Put it in
We
butter.
made some ramp butter too. I actually smoked some on my my Weber smoker, and then ground all that up, and then mix it with the butter on the smoker again, and let that sit in there for 30 minutes or so. Pull it out, let it solidify. I
For a
probably could
second,
have.
I thought you meant you like ground it up and smoked the ramps.
Yeah, put it in a big old cone, king size, stuff that motherfucker. Right. You have no idea. Yeah, that really makes it exotic. Fucking flavorful. Yeah, you guys have been cool so far. I got a couple more questions for you here. We talked about your creative process. Did we actually? I might have skipped that one. We talked about your musical inspirations. Oh, yeah, that is your creative process. You've got a new album that came out last year, self-titled album. Tell me about that. Was there like a specific theme or a message you try to convey when you recorded it?
That album, so yeah, that came out in November, so it's pretty recent actually. But the music, some of it was written, as far as a couple years before that. I think like a lot of the album's inspiration, at least for the tunes that that I contributed to it, were a lot of it was inspired by the passing of our old drummer Sean Mason.
Okay.
So there's a lot of like rebirth themes, like rising from the ashes kind of things. There's a lot going on, and then more recently we've also with Logan we've been writing and recording music in the rehearsal room. So we've put out 2 singles so far, and we're continuing to just put out music frequently, and Logan's editing all the music and the videos and making them all spicy.
In a similar vein, we've actually been recording a song written by Logan's mentor, who has
that.
unfortunately since passed.
Oh,
A guy that I actually learned a lot about music from, Mr.
Yeah.
Joey K. Yeah. So
Okay.
we'll be playing one of those songs tonight.
Yeah.
So
Okay, that's cool.
it's another way that I think the Snozzberries are unique in that we try to implement a lot of, passed on folks music as a way to allow them to kind of live on.
Just by honoring them with some of the music that they helped you create, right?
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah, I dig that.
Yeah.
That's what's up. Joey K. Sounds like a cool guy.
The coolest motherfucker anyone has ever met.
Yeah. Yeah,
And
tell me
that
about
is-
this dude. What was his background like?
Well, he played with the pop star known as Pink for a while.
Okay.
He was on the L.A. funk scene.
Mhm.
In the early 2000s, he had a project called The Big Pill, and he was the front man. So the drums were in the front,
Mhm.
and they had a DJ that had a horn section, guitar, bass, tight as fuck.
Yeah, that's a funky lineup.
Unfortunately, they're really hard to find online, but I can send you some bootleg recordings that he
Okay.
gave me.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
And this shit is just, I mean, nails.
Yeah.
And largely contribute. I mean, that's my biggest influence, is that one dude. But yeah, he gave me a lot of mixing and engineering knowledge, and trying to just utilize that and build on my skill set. And yeah, it's an honor to also play his music and perform his music. So be on the lookout for that, like Ethan was saying. Yeah, the tune we're playing tonight is called Vagrant,
Mhm.
and it goes into one of Josh's tunes called Sensation.
Okay.
So, yeah.
Okay. Would that be like a classic jam where you start with one song, go into another, and then back into the beginning?
There's nothing classic about it. This is just raw, untamed. This is the arrangement.
Mhm.
I say there's nothing classic about it, but it's really the classiest part of the set. We go from the most obnoxious, obscene guitar riff in 6/8, and then we drop into this just cigar, smelly, smoke, jazz feel, and it goes abruptly back. It's a hell of a composition.
Okay.
So
A
looking
musical
forward for
journey,
to
if you
hear it.
will. For sure. Okay. Is there like a specific song on the album that might have had the most transformation between, the beginning of the writing process to actually recording it?
I think the most interesting song, as far as like what we did in the studio, was one of Ian's tunes, "Biting Through," where like it's always been kind of like this fun, funky, jam, and then Josh was like, "Let's make it Afrobeat." We're like, all right, sweet. And then we're like in the studio, we're like, "What can we do to this song?" We ended up just like every other song. We really were like sitting down. We're like, "Okay, this is the composition. This is how we're gonna do it." This song, we were like, "Fuck it, we're gonna go in and just go Ross." We did one like really long 13-minute take, and then just cut out like a song out of it. And like Josh and our old drummer Paul added a bunch of auxiliary percussion, and that's a really fun one, especially just knowing that it came out of this long form jam, and then we cut it into this kind of like tight composition.
Sorry. Getting straightened up here.
You're good. Don't apologize.
Yeah, I've heard similar stories, same thing. It's like you started out with what you thought it was going to be like, and then you get in there and change a little bit, and then it comes out something completely different by the end of it. So it's like writing albums can either be like tricky or smooth as fuck, I suppose.
Oh
Depends
yeah,
on-
we've experienced a lot of that with our singles lately as well.
Guess it depends on how picky you want to be with it, right?
Right, yeah. The singles
the
kind of
sound.
allow you to like really wrap your head around like one creative thing.
Mm.
So the two most recent ones, Dirt Nap and Just After Two, like one is like a instrumental high energy number that's got a bunch of really cool followable melodies and harmonies, and then the other one is like a thrash metal tune that we wrote about fast food and metabolic disease.
Yeah. Okay.
So that's kind of like where we're headed as far as the combination of themes and, crafting a narrative through these really different color palettes.
Okay.
Sure.
Something fun with the approach we're taking for these singles is we're going for strictly studio live, no editing, just one take all the way through.
Mm.
So that's been pushing us a lot. I mean, we've we've had a number of sessions so far for the next couple of tunes we have. So
Okay.
it's good to elevate us, like, or elevate ourselves through that process.
Yeah, like people will be like, why are you guys so tight? Like they come and see us live, they're like, you guys are a really tight band. And we're like, yeah, it's because we literally sit there, we drill these songs over and over, getting them perfect, you know.
Right. Yeah, it's like you want it all to sound right. You don't want to be like wonky with it, or like you're saying, it's like if you're doing multiple takes for the song for your single, it's like you don't. I get what you're saying. You want it to be exactly right, and you want it to sound perfect too. And it's like if there's something fucked up, it's like, no, cut it. Let's go back and do it all over, all through one take, like you're saying. Yeah, you're
Right,
not
yeah.
stopping and then messing with anything.
And then some of the liveness is detectable. That's kind of the window that you're sitting in, is like detectable realness between a lot of these like one-shot videos.
Yeah.
Is that like, yeah, man, it's like we could put it out or we could do this, but what if we just do it like one more time and we do it perfectly?
Right.
you
Yeah.
know?
You get it right.
And with a lot of these songs, it is wild. We've been just cramming a lot of content into the songs themselves, but it's been paying off.
It's good to pay off. It's good to see it come to its fruition, right?
Right, exactly. And if you have that video evidence too, it really helps to like show people like this is what you're gonna see when you come see the band.
Right.
It'll be this quality of thing.
Yeah, it's not fake. It's not sugar coated, or there's no filter on it. Like this is pure and it's raw, and this is what you're gonna get.
Right, exactly. And we take a lot of inspiration from like a Wolfpack, or even before that, your earliest music YouTuber people. So.
You guys got any shows you're looking forward to playing coming up soon? Like this summer?
All of them, obviously. I would
Yeah.
say a major highlight would be Halloween
Oh, cool.
coming up in the fall.
Right, that's down in it's down in Florida, but where's that at in Florida?
Down in Swanee is Live Oaks.
Live Oaks, that's what I was thinking, yeah.
Spirit of the Swanee Music Park.
Yeah.
Yes.
You guys think it's haunted down there? It's got some like
A little bit.
Native
you know.
Americans that haunt that land.
It's an old land.
Uh-huh.
So, I think most of the experiences I've had down there have been positive. So, I think if anything, the spirits are down with some music. Yeah, can't say the same for New Orleans. We've had some bed-shaking ghouls
Oh, really?
down in New Orleans.
Yeah. Oh, tell me about this.
Well, Ian was sleeping in by far the most haunted room of this Airbnb that we were staying in. And heard tale of a little bit of a vibration in the night
Oh, yeah.
that awoke him out of his
Okay.
slumber.
It wasn't like a tremor. It wasn't like an earthquake or anything.
No, he said it felt like someone coming up and being like, shaking his
Oh,
bed,
yeah.
essentially.
Okay, it wasn't a fart, was it? Like a
You know-
serious fart. Yeah, wake you up and think like,
We should have done more forensics, honestly.
Yeah.
But I think I'll take Ian's word for it. It sounded like a ghost to me.
yeah.
Plus, when you would walk, it would be like you go up a set of stairs, normal smell. Up another set of stairs, normal smell. You get to the set of stairs that our room is on,
Yeah.
the smell changes.
It's the Snozzberries.
It's the Snozzberries. Yeah, exactly. Coming into frame.
Uh-huh.
No, it was like dusty and weird and ghostly and strange, and Ethan loves it, so I think we'll probably stay there again.
Dude, well, it's funny, like, I do love that place. We were like, I looked it up on the way in. I was like, oh, yeah, I need to look up, like, I need to call them or whatever. And there's a whole website dedicated to this place being haunted. I was like, guys, guess what? We're staying in a haunted Airbnb. Well, and then last night, they hosted us after this, outdoor, like, downtown after 5 kind of thing, in an old historic house up in Berkeley Springs, West Virginia. And, we walked in, we were, like, joking, it's going to be haunted. It's from 1870. So then in the morning, the guy comes, and he's, like, making us omelets. Such a nice dude. Shout out, Ross. And he's like, Ross the boss. And he's like, hey, did you guys have any ghostly activity last night? We were like, no. And he's like, oh, well, there's some children running around here sometimes.
Oh,
I'm like,
yeah.
oh, great. Thanks.
Okay.
Thanks for letting us know.
Yeah. You had to like.
Not blowing any smoke here. Not blowing any smoke. I did say to Josh when I walked out this morning, and I didn't tell you guys for some reason, but when I was going down the stairs of the house carrying my bag, I felt a little like someone blew in my face. Swear to God, something funny happened.
It's a little kid
It was
fucking
me.
with you.
It was me. I blew in your face.
No one was around. It was like right on my forehead. Swear
Yeah.
to God, it was strange.
Yeah, the supernatural energies that haunt these homes. I believe that like little kids would probably like play with your stuff or like move things around, just play pranks on you.
For sure, yeah.
Blow in your face.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah, the only time I've gotten like weird ghost energies was when I was like in some type of, sad museum.
A sad museum.
Like I was in Prague one time, or near Prague in the Czech Republic, and they have this crazy church that's decorated with all these bones.
Yeah.
Long story short, it's during the Black Plague. Tons of people are dying. They're like, we don't have enough room for all these people that are dying. We got to dig up the people in the graves already,
Right.
and we can't take their bones outside of the church, so we're just going to use them to decorate the church.
Mm.
It's the most heavy metal shit you've ever seen in your life.
Oh my god.
You can look it up. It's called the Ossuary
Okay.
in the Czech Republic. There are a couple different ones, but yeah, this one had some interesting smells to it for sure. Some
Yeah.
interesting. I feel like somebody is watching me and they're angry right now.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
It's like all
You
these
can-
bones around, and
What?
yeah,
Oh, I don't know how you smell like bone, but it smelled like bone in there,
some smell
so-
of bones.
which was also angry ghost smell.
It's not like dog bones, right?
Josh, would you say that you were in the bone zone?
I was 100%, 110% in the bone zone. They just had like a big pile of femurs. I was like, what is that massive 15 by 15 pyramid over there? And the little, Czech lady is like, what is your pile of the human femur? I was like, oh my god.
Yeah, right. It's wild.
They had like skulls stacked up that had like, this is an axe wound, and it's just a dude with a hole in his head.
That's pretty cool, though.
It's pretty amazing.
Yeah.
So I felt like that guy was standing next to me, just like, you believe they did that shit to me? Man?
Yeah, I bet like medieval ghosts would be like way more torturous than like little kids.
Yeah, because they don't even know what's going on. They're like,
Yeah,
why
right.
are you holding that phone thing? I don't even know what a phone is.
Fucking crack one to the skull and you're dead
Oh,
instantly.
yeah. They were
Then this
pissed
guy's-
when we started taking pictures.
Yeah, and
'Cause
this guy's
apparently it
taking
happens.
pictures of you with his fucking electronic digital
Yeah.
device in his hand.
They were
What is
not
this
cool.
sorcery? I hear some noise going on in here. We've talked about the band, we talked about your music, talked about upcoming shows. Guys, why don't you go ahead and shout out your socials where people can find your music at?
You can find us everything at thesnozzberriesmusic.com. We've got tour dates. We've got a merchandise shop. We've got a podcast called the Snozzcast.
Snozzcast.
Come listen to the Snozzcast. It's just tales of what we're doing, places that we go. We also have a mailing list in which we drop all types of information about what it is that we're doing, the shows that we're playing. We're doing some live tapings coming up and all types of special events, so make sure you go to thesnozzberriesmusic.com for all your Snozzberries needs. Find us on social media, Instagram, Facebook. Am I missing anything, Ethan?
Spotify, iTunes.
Oh yeah, all the things.
Bandcamp.
If you're looking for us on socials, it's the Snozzberries AVL, like Asheville.
Uh-huh.
You can find us on there. And yeah, definitely sign up for the mailing list. We have like a newsletter. It's got funny stories. It's got some nice things. Our most recent one we just put out, it has the tale of the octopus. Octopus Frenzy, I believe, is the name of that article. We've got food reviews in there.
Foodies.
Yeah, it's great. It's lots of really high quality information.
Okay, that's what's up. Any last words, guys?
I think
Oh,
we are
Logan on
just
the end.
about ready to get snozzed. Do you have a last thought?
I do.
All right. Snored. You don't know what that means, but it's
Nah,
fine.
but nah, you gotta fill me in now.
Say it.
You just have to say the word snored.
Snore.
Snore!
Fuck yeah,
See how
guys.
that works? That's
Yeah.
cool, right?
I'm gonna yell it out during your set.
Yeah, yeah.
I've got one last word.
Sure.
My final word is all hail the orb.
All hail the orb. Yeah, we might drop an orb on him tonight.
Oh, we should drop it.
Now that we've said it, we have to drop an orb on
Gotta
him.
drop the orb.
It's a secret song that we only play live.
Yeah.
So this is another thing you can experience with
Will
Snozzberries.
you flip him inside out when you play it?
Oh yeah, it's an angry song.
Awesome. Yeah, thank you guys. I appreciate it.
Absolutely,
Yeah,
thank
a lot.
you.
Yeah, of course. And if you guys like watching this episode, you can find more on Facebook, YouTube, and Rumble. Just search for the Grassroots 304 podcast. You can find me on Instagram. I'm at Mike Grassroots, and make sure you use. Gosh, I'm choking up here, fellas. Here we go. Make sure you follow live local music and support places like this here at the shop, 1233 Ohio Avenue in Dunbar, West Virginia. Got great live music coming up every week, and actually a packed lineup for the summer too. So make sure you check it out online and see these guys in person. Where are you playing at tomorrow? Tomorrow's Sunday. You're probably not playing anywhere. Where are you playing next week?
Let's see. We are playing. Oh, we have a week off for the first time in forever.
Nice.
Yeah, I know. Literally, it's our first week off, and of course, I'll go to New Orleans. But whatever. After that, we're doing Flow Jam Festival, which is in Northern Virginia. New York City, we're playing at the Bitter End. We're playing in Pennsylvania, outside of Philadelphia, at a place called Dharma Bums.
Okay.
So that's going to be that week, and then we've got lots more coming up all summer. Summer Sequence is coming up in Asheville. That's with Papadocio and Moon Hooch.
Nice.
In July, we're going to Texas and New Orleans. And in Texas, we're doing a thing at the Purple Bee in Austin. It's a live to vinyl recording. So if anybody listening or watching wants to come and join us in Austin, you can. There's very limited tickets to be in attendance at the recording session, or you can order a vinyl. The only way to get vinyl is by pre-ordering it. And Front Porch Fest, some other festivals we can't talk about. Lots of fun stuff coming up.
Nice. Sounds like a packed year, packed summer. Lots of traveling.
As many as we can fit in there. We
Yeah.
try to be on the road as much as possible.
That's what's up. Make sure you stop and get stickers every state that you go to. Get a little magnet. You take that
yeah,
home with
for
you.
sure.
Yeah, slap in the back of your van. There you go. Awesome. Thanks, guys. Appreciate it. For sitting down, hanging out. You guys are cool. It's not every. I should say not every time. Sometimes people don't always have the time to sit down. They might be a little extra busy, but you guys are
Right, yeah.
You guys are super cool about it. So,
They got to go over their lyrics. They're like, what is the
they
word
got to
to
write the
this
set
song?
list. They got to smoke some bowls. They got to shake off the negative energy from the drive.
Oh, man, yeah. So
Yeah,
much
right.
van energy. Just like,
It's all that Zappa on the road, right?
yeah, I've burnt their brains out today.
Thanks, guys. I appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thank you. Yeah, thank you. Awesome. Yeah, thank you all.